Australia is known for its deadly snakes, crocodiles, and huge spiders that would give anyone nightmares, but these modern animals are nothing compared to the monsters that once roamed this land. Beasts so massive and terrifying, they make today's wildlife look like a petting zoo. We begin our journey about 60,000 years ago when humans first stepped foot on this continent. Imagine walking through the Australian bush and meeting Thylacoleo carnifex, the marsupial lion. Forget everything you know about modern-day lions. This beast had, pound for pound, one of the strongest bite forces of any mammal that ever existed, strong enough to crush the skull of its prey in one chomp. Its front teeth were like industrial bolt cutters, and it had big retractable thumb claws that could slice through prey like a hot knife through butter. This marsupial lion wasn't much bigger than a modern-day lioness, standing just 2.5 feet at the shoulders. But here's the scary part. This thing could climb trees with those retractable thumb claws. Picture a 250-pound predator, built like a bulldog on steroids, dropping down from a tree onto its prey. Since humans were also hunting for food at the same time, it's very likely that the two crossed paths, and someone probably ended up an unlucky dinner guest. Now imagine you're wandering through prehistoric Australia, and out of the bush steps a bird that could look you in the eye, or even tower over you. This is Genyornis newtoni, a flightless bird that stood about 6.5 foot tall and weighed a whopping 530 pounds, nearly as tall as a modern-day emu but bulkier and much more intimidating. If today's cassowary looks like it stepped out of a dinosaur movie, Genyornis was its Pleistocene-era equivalent on steroids, built for survival with powerful legs that could probably run really fast, making it difficult to escape if you ended up on its bad side. It wasn't a predator, but its sheer size would have made you think twice about getting too close. Evidence suggests that humans in Australia may have hunted these giant birds. Burned Genyornis eggshells have been found in archaeological sites, hinting that their massive eggs, bigger than a football, might have been the ultimate prehistoric breakfast. While Genyornis is long gone, it's worth mentioning its modern-day counterpart, the cassowary, known as the world's most dangerous bird. Found in northern Australia and New Guinea, cassowaries can reach up to 6 foot tall and have a reputation for being extremely aggressive when threatened. Like Genyornis, cassowaries are flightless, with strong legs that can deliver a devastating kick. Their insanely sharp talons have even killed people with a single strike. Any human hunting encounter with Genyornis could have been fatal. Now, let's take a look at something that would make modern-day kangaroos look like jumping mice, Procoptodon, the giant short-faced kangaroo. Standing a whopping 10 foot tall and weighing half a ton, this beast was much bigger than a modern kangaroo. Its face was short and wide, perfect for chomping through vegetation, and its arms were long enough to reach high tree branches. But here's the wild part. Unlike modern kangaroos that hop, this giant most likely walked around upright on its two hind legs, looking like some prehistoric heavyweight boxer. Procoptodon survived up until 45,000 years ago before going extinct, though some evidence suggests it may have survived as recently as 18,000 years ago. This means humans and these giant kangaroos surely crossed paths. Was it dangerous? It certainly was a powerful animal, and early humans probably didn't get too close to one. If you think that impressive, take a look at Palakestes, the marsupial tapir. These large herbivores were similar in shape to a pig, but this bizarre-looking creature also had a small trunk like an elephant, powerful claws like a ground sloth, and a body built like a bear. It could rear up on its hind legs to reach high branches and use its massive claws to strip bark from trees. At about 6 foot tall at the shoulder, it was larger than any living tapir today. You might wonder, could this thing have been dangerous to humans? Absolutely. Palakestes had big, sharp teeth and huge bark-stripping claws. Modern-day tapirs are often thought to be gentle, but their behavior can be unpredictable. They've been known to attack humans without warning, causing serious wounds. The prehistoric version of this animal was definitely one you wouldn't want to take any chances with. When you think about Australia's most dangerous creatures, the crocodile is one of the first animals that comes to mind, and for good reason. Even today, many people fall victim to fatal crocodile attacks. It's a well-known fact that a crocodile can take a human's head off in one bite. But if you think modern crocodiles are scary, then check out Quincana, a land-dwelling crocodile that could run as fast as a horse. Unlike today's crocs that waddle around on 4 stumpy legs, Quincana had long legs and could sprint down its prey. Most fossils show that these crocodiles averaged about 10 feet long, but one fossil specimen suggests it reached 20 feet in length, making it one of Australia's largest predators at the time. Its teeth were designed for slicing rather than gripping, meaning it could take chunks out of its prey with each bite. Imagine trying to outrun a crocodile that could sprint through the bush like a racehorse. Now that's terrifying. But this crocodile wasn't the only scary reptile running around at the time. Meet Varanus priscus, also known as Megalania, the largest monitor lizard that ever existed. It grew to an average size of 23 feet long and weighed over 1,300 pounds, about the size of a small car, except this one came equipped with razor-sharp claws, serrated teeth, and a nasty venomous bite. Its claws weren't just for defense, but also powerful weapons for slashing and gripping prey. Meanwhile, its teeth were curved and serrated like steak knives, designed to slice through flesh with brutal efficiency. And if that wasn't enough to send chills down your spine, Megalania had a venomous bite that likely prevented blood clotting, causing prey to bleed out slowly. Those big, curved, serrated teeth could tear 50-pound chunks of meat off its prey in a single bite. This huge dragon lizard hunted anything it could find across Australia. While it mostly targeted large animals like diprotodon and giant kangaroos, it wouldn't have hesitated to attack humans if they crossed its path. Imagine coming face to face with a reptile that could outrun you, overpower you, and outlast you, all with a single venomous bite to seal your fate. This giant nightmare lizard was around up until about 50,000 years ago when it went extinct, likely due to climate change. But that's not all. Prehistoric Australia also had its share of scary giant snakes. Imagine a snake so massive it could easily make you question your spot at the top of the food chain. This was Liasis dubudingula, an enormous relative of today's olive python, stretching up to 33 feet in length and weighing an estimated 550 pounds. This prehistoric snake wasn't just a predator, it was a master of ambush. It would have been perfectly at home in the rivers and forests of ancient Australia. With its sheer size, it could wrap itself around a human and crush them with ease, and yes, it was likely big enough to swallow someone whole. Fortunately, humans didn't arrive in Australia until thousands of years after these massive snakes disappeared. These snakes likely hunted large prey like giant kangaroos or even diprotodon, and with the way they could silently slither through their environment, it's not hard to imagine them lying in wait, blending into their surroundings, ready to strike. Picture a 30-feet-long snake coiled near a waterhole, waiting for its next meal. It's a stuff of nightmares and one of the most awe-inspiring creatures in Australia's prehistoric past. But the prehistoric oceans and seas of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana and later Australia were home to some of the scariest marine predators ever seen, from the Jurassic to the Pleistocene. Let's start with Kronosaurus, a marine reptile that would make today's great white sharks look like sardines. This monster grew up to 36 feet long, the length of a school bus, and had a head twice the size of A.T. Rex's. Its teeth were the size of bananas, and its jaw could generate enough force to crush a small boat. Weighing somewhere between 15 to 20 tons, it ruled the Australian seas about 120 million years ago, feeding on anything unfortunate enough to cross its path. Then there was Ichthyosaurus, reaching lengths of up to 70 feet, but what made these creatures truly remarkable were their eyes, the size of dinner plates and more powerful than any other known animal. They could dive deeper than modern whales and swim faster than any living marine reptile, reaching speeds of 25 miles per hour. Perhaps the most terrifying sea monster was Pliosaurus. Picture a creature with a head the size of a car, teeth longer than your forearm, and a bite force that could crush a small whale. This 50-ton-long nightmare had flippers the size of boat oars and could move through water faster than a speedboat. The seas were also home to leadsichters, potentially the largest fish that ever lived. While not a predator, this filter-feeding giant could grow up to 50 feet long and weigh as much as 54 tons, making today's whale sharks look like minnows in comparison. Then there was Leviathan, a prehistoric sperm whale with teeth the size of wine bottles in both its upper and lower jaws. Unlike modern sperm whales that feed mainly on squid, this 60-foot monster hunted other whales. But aside from its massive jaws, it had another terrifying ability. Its head was filled with powerful sonar organs that it used to stun prey with sound waves loud enough to rupture internal organs. Now, let's dive deeper into one of the most infamous predators that ever patrolled these waters, Megalodon. While this massive shark hunted all around the world, the waters around Australia were some of its favorite hunting grounds. Just how big was this thing? Imagine a great white shark, already an impressive predator, but multiply that by 3. Megalodon grew up to 60 feet long, longer than a semi-truck trailer. Its jaws were lined with teeth bigger than your hand, some reaching 7 inches in length, about the size of a large dinner plate. But what made Megalodon truly terrifying was its hunting strategy. These monsters could swim at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour, using their massive tail fin to launch themselves at prey from below. When they struck, their bite force, 40,000 pounds, stronger than a T-Rex and 30 times more powerful than a lion's, would shatter the bones of even the largest whales. They targeted their prey's fins first, crippling them before going in for the kill. A single megalodon could consume 2,500 pounds of food in one bite, the equivalent of eating an entire cow in one chomp. These are all fascinating creatures, but prehistoric Australia wasn't the only place where giants roamed the planet. There were many more huge and awe-inspiring prehistoric animals. Gigantopithecus blacki, or G. blacki for short, was the largest primate to ever inhabit Earth. The species flourished around 2 million years ago in China, Southeast Asia, and parts of India, in dense canopy forests filled with fruit, seeds, grasses, and bamboo. No full skeleton of G. blacki has ever been found, only jawbones and teeth. Once examined, the upper molars were found to be 57.8% larger than a modern gorilla's, and the lower molars 33% larger. These estimates suggest G. blacki weighed between 440 to 660 pounds or more and stood about 9 to 10 foot tall when fully upright. Due to its tremendous size, it was likely a knuckle walker. Some researchers believe Gigantopithecus mostly ate bamboo, supplemented with shrubs, roots, seeds, and fruit. But as dense forests gave way to savannas, bamboo died out, and G. blacki was left with only bark and twigs to eat. The species died out around 295,000 to 215,000 years ago. When it comes to massive prehistoric mammals, one creature stands as a colossal testament to the wonders of the ancient Americas, Megatherium, often referred to as a giant sloth. Megatherium roamed South and Central America during the Pleistocene, some 2.5 million to 11,000 years ago. Picture a creature towering over modern grizzly bears, reaching heights of up to 20 feet when standing on its hind legs. Its most iconic feature was its enormous curved claws, up to a foot long, likely used for grabbing vegetation, stripping leaves, digging, or defense. Though primarily herbivorous, some speculate it may have been omnivorous, crushing smaller animals with ease. Archaeologists also believe it dug massive underground tunnels. Over 1,500 have been found with giant claw marks, some hundreds of feet long. Why? No one knows. Megatherium went extinct due to climate change and human hunting during the late Quaternary megafauna extinction event. In the same era and location, imagine an armadillo the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. That's Glyptodon. Weighing up to 2 tons and exceeding 10 feet in length, this armored giant had a heavy carapace made of bone segments, much like a tortoiseshell. In 2020, 4 Glyptodon shells were uncovered by a farmer in Argentina, giving a glimpse of their massive size. Despite its impressive defenses, Glyptodon vanished around 10,000 years ago, likely hunted by humans for their shells, used as shelters, and preyed upon by other apex predators. One such predator was Octotherium, the giant short-faced bear of the Pleistocene. Its name means bear beast, and it ranks among the largest bears ever known, weighing up to 3,500 pounds and standing over 11 foot tall on its hind legs. This carnivorous colossus roamed South America, armed with sharp claws and powerful jaws, preying on Glyptodon and possibly even Megatherium. It went extinct alongside the giant mammals it hunted. Another massive mammal of the Pleistocene was the steppe mammoth, an extinct species that inhabited Eurasia. Standing approximately 13 foot tall at the shoulder and weighing up to 12 tons, it dwarfed modern elephants. It had long, curved tusks over 13 feet long, used for digging and defense. Fossil remains span from Western Europe to Siberia, showing its significant role in shaping Ice Age ecosystems. Like other megafauna, it succumbed to climate change and human pressures around 10,000 years ago. But some prehistoric mammals were even bigger. Paraceratherium, often called the Siberian unicorn, was one of the largest land mammals ever, standing 16 to 18 feet at the shoulder and weighing 15 to 20 tons, 3 times an African elephant's weight. Resembling a hornless rhinoceros with a long neck, it browsed high tree branches in Central Asia's forests. Its extinction remains a mystery, but shifting vegetation and competition likely played a role. On the carnivorous side, Andrewsarchus was a colossal predator from the Eocene epoch. Known only from a single skull discovered in Mongolia, this beast had an 83 cm long skull, suggesting a bite force capable of crushing bone. Despite its fearsome reputation, much about Andrewsarchus remains unknown. Even rodents grew to monstrous sizes. Joseph Ortegasia manisi, an extinct rodent from Uruguay, holds the title of the largest ever, comparable in size to a bull, with a skull over 20 inches long and 12-inch in sizes. Its exact diet is debated, but it likely fed on tough vegetation. Its extinction, like many megafauna, remains unexplained. Titanotilapus, an extinct camelid from the Miocene, stood 10 foot tall at the shoulder and weighed over 2,200 pounds. Adapted to grassland and forests, it browsed on leaves and shrubs. Despite its size, it may have fallen prey to large carnivores like Amphicyon, the bear dog. Amphicyon was a formidable predator of the Miocene and Pliocene, blending bear-like strength with dog-like agility. Ranging from dog size to bear size up to 7 feet long, it hunted early horses, rhinos, and even juvenile elephants. Climate change and competition likely drove it to extinction. Back in the Pleistocene, Diprotodon, the giant wombat, was Australia's largest marsupial, standing 6.6 foot tall and weighing over 4,400 pounds. This gentle giant browsed on tough vegetation but vanished around 46,000 years ago due to climate shifts and human hunting. For a while, Paraceratherium was considered the largest land mammal, until Parusetus colossus was discovered. This extinct sperm whale from the Miocene reached 65 feet long and weighed over 88 tons, rivaling modern blue whales. Fossils found in Peru suggest it preyed on large marine animals before mysteriously disappearing. Among birds, the terror birds, Phorusrhacos, were apex predators of the Americas. Standing 10 foot tall with hooked beaks and razor talons, they could kill prey with a single strike. Though extinct for 2 million years, early humans may have encountered their smaller relatives. In New Zealand, the Haast eagle, a 33-pound raptor with a 10-foot wingspan, preyed on moa birds and possibly early humans. Evidence includes puncture marks on a 2-million-year-old hominid skull, suggesting an eagle attack. Finally, Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat, lived alongside early humans until 10,000 years ago. Weighing up to 600 pounds with 11-inch fangs, its weak bite was offset by powerful neck muscles, allowing it to deliver lethal stabs. Which of these prehistoric monsters would you least want to encounter? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Earth's ancient giants, give us a like and subscribe for more terrifying prehistoric content. Thanks for watching.